Okay, can we start, guys? Am I audible to all of you? Okay, so guys, I have shared a question paper. All of you, can you see that in the chat box? Can you open it? Or should I send it again? I don't know whether those who join late, will they be able to see that? Everyone is able to see the message that I have, or the PPT that I've shared in the chat box? Not able to see, okay. Just 1 minute, guys, just one. Okay, I have shared it again. Okay, I'll open it here otherwise. What I want you to do is, now, are you able to see this now, the screen? Okay, so guys, take this question paper and you have no choice for the section A, first question, and section B, first question. That means question number 1 and 5, you don't have any choice. Like what we have done in the previous papers, exactly the same as what I want you to do. Now you have to select from 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. You have 6 questions, and I want you to select 3 questions from that. Guys, those who are attending the sessions in this batch, 13th batch, it's okay. If you're not able to, just try to see what are the things that we have done and is it available, or can you see that in the question paper, and will you be able to answer those questions? That's what you need to look for. Ignore the other areas which we have not covered, but others, those we have completed up till like the 12th batch students or this. Okay, whoever is there, you can try that. Okay, if you can select the questions that you're going to answer, it will be perfectly fine. Question number, this is a second one. I'm not even looking into, the strategy, right? We are not even looking into the section A, first one. Anyway, we are going to answer it. Whatever it is, we are going to answer all the 5 questions. We don't have any choice. So discuss a changing equation of discipline of sociology with other social sciences. Okay. Examine the basic postulates of positivism and post-positivism. Elaborate the main tenets of interpretive perspective in sociology. All the 3 are good questions. Okay. Then discuss a distinct sociological method adopted by Durkheim in his study of suicide. It's going to be a very easy question, 20 marker, theory of suicide. Directly you're getting. Analyze Marxian concept of historical materialism as a critique of Hegelian dialectics. Another 20 marker, again from the thinker, is going to be a beautiful one. Examine epistemological foundation of qualitative methods in social research. This, you may be in trouble. Some of you might not have read about this epistemological foundation, but actually, this one is actually very simple, okay? So it's nothing but separation of fact and value in a sociological research. But if you guys, if you don't know about this, you may get stuck. But these 2 are beautiful questions. Okay, let's look into the others. What is Weberian critique of Marxian theory of social stratification? Easy one, right? We can write 2 thinkers. Examine gender as a dimension of stratification. So gender stratification we have discussed, and then ethnicity and race as major dimensions of stratification. So talk about gender, how differences, sex, and then sex become gender, how inequality is created, talk about patriarchy, talk about feminist perspective, talk about Sylvia Walby, talk about Anne Oakley, Fran Ansley, right? And then ethnicity, race as different other dimensions of stratification, talk about open, closed, and all those concepts that we have learned. Then how can one resolve the issue of reliability and validity is again an easy question. So I don't think that you will face any problem in this one. Okay. And second one also is fine, because if I see this one I will have a lot of content to write, right? Changing equation of discipline of sociology with other social sciences. I can make a comparison with economy, right? I can talk about Marx concepts there. I can talk about Durkheim theory of division of labor, right? And I can talk about Weber's capitalism, so economic comparison. And then anthropology, I can make comparison, the studies. And then I can also talk about political science by using Weber, Marx. I can also talk about psychology. I can use Mead. I can use Durkheim theory of suicide. I can use Weber. So this is going to be full of content for me. So I can attempt it. Then postulates of positivism and post-positivism. Guys, post-positivism means everything after positivism. like interpretive sociology, symbolic interactionism, non-positivism, phenomenology, ethnomethodology, everything, postmodern approach, feminist perspective, everything. So here also, I'm not going to face any problem with the content, right? So these two are fine. Elaborate the basic tenets of interpretive sociology. That is Weberian approach. That's in fact something which we will discuss here also. So guys, question number 2 is very good for me. Question number 3 is actually even more better for me about these 2 questions. But the fact is, I know this, I'm thinking from your side, some of you are freshers, might not be, aware of this. You might not have read about this. We have not discussed this in the class. So if you have some clue about this, then this is going to be a beautiful question which I want you to attempt. If you know something about this epistemological approach, it is, at least if you know that it's about, separation of fact and value in the social research, and how it is actually going to help in qualitative methods to ensure reliability, validity, objectivity, value neutrality, and all. If you can write, that is also going to be really good. These 2 are beautiful theories that you're going to get. We can talk about Marx. We can talk about Hegel's concept of dialectical materialism, how Marx have changed to Hegel's concept of dialectical idealism, how Marx have interpreted and used that and changed it to materialism and the theory. I would go for this actually, because since I know this, if I don't know this, I will go for 2 and 4, because 4 is also easy one, right? Here I'm getting Weber and Marx. I can write it good. Gender, different dimensions, I can keep on writing about stratification. This is a very simple question, reliability and validity. For 5, I don't have any choice. I'm not looking into this. I'll answer all these questions, guys. Don't worry about that. 6, now I need only 1, right? If I can take 2 from this side also, I will be fine. But I need to get better than the other 2 that I have selected. If I need to select 2 from here, I need only 1, because I got 2 good questions from the first part itself. You guys got my point. Now I am looking for only 1. If at all I need to look for 2, that second one has to be better than the other 2 which we have seen in first part. So that trace the change in nature of organization of work in capitalist society over the years. Very general question. What is new in new social movement? Elaborate your answer with special reference to India. So guys, this is a question that they used to ask, like new women movement. Even new women movement was asked in essay 2017. So see, this is a 2017 paper. 2017 essay paper, if you see, they have asked new women movement. You see, sociology, this is asked new social movement. In essay, they have asked new women movement. Okay, so anyway, what are the new dimensions in the movement, like farmers movement, how peasant movement become farmers movement, what are the new types of backward class movement or backward caste movement, Dalit movement changes, reservation movements, women movement, Panchayati Raj movement, RPI movement. We have a lot and more, so don't worry about that. This is okay, but guys, this is okay for me. Again, pressure group, these 3 are very general for me. Okay, I'm not getting any thinkers or anything. This is general. If I don't find anything as good as this, I will answer it. But I'm not that attracted to this. Unlike the first part, 3 questions I was ready to answer, but then it was like confusing which one to select, right? But we have selected 2. I'm not that convinced, even though I know the answers, I can write it, but guys, this is not going to be that scoring. You understood the parameters, right? We need to get thinkers. We don't want to think and write during exam. We need to write things which we already know, like positivism, non-positivism, and all other perspectives. We know there is nothing new in the previous questions that we have selected. So here, you know basic things, but we need to add a lot of things here. See the changing nature of organization of work in capitalist society over the years. We can talk about Marx, we can talk about Weber and the thinkers and the postmodernist and everything, but still general. This one is simple. Again, examine the relationship between the contemporary trends in marriage and change in forms of family. We have directly prepared this answer, contemporary trends in marriage and the change in equations in family. Discuss the regional variations. This is also going to be very easy for you. Airavadi Karve, right? That clear-cut division, you're going to reproduce it. Then the problematize the concept of secularism in the present society. Secularism is also a direct concept. So I think I can go with this also, is not a problem. Compared to 6, this one is better because this Airavadi Karve, I have very good content. And here also I have very good content. We don't want to think anything. And for secularism also. And if you remember, I have told you, if they're asking you any question from secularism, revivalism, fundamentalism, and one more, secularism, revivalism, fundamentalism, communalism, anyone was asked, you need to mention about other 3 also. For example, secularism is asked here. How can you mention about revivalism here? You need to tell that revivalism is a threat to secularism. Same way you need to bring in fundamentalism as a threat and the communalism also in that way. Also, you need to bring in sect and cult. That's how you need to fill your answers, okay? This is something which I'm happy with it. This is one that I may select. Let's look into question number 8 as well. Examine any 2 theories of social change. I'm getting thinkers here. I'm more happy with this one. Critically analyze the role of science and technology in bringing about social change. This is a somewhat general question. Elaborate on various types of religious practices prevalent in Indian society. We can talk about animism, monism, sect and cult and everything that we have learned. So this is okay. This is also okay for me. This is somewhat general. So now the question was 7 or 8. I will be very happy to write a theory rather than writing these general questions. But still, 7 or 8, I may go for, yeah, guys, tell me. I just unmute you. If anyone want to talk regarding the selection, ignore the first and fifth one. We can't do anything. We have choice only from 2, 3, 4 and 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I think I will go for 2, 4, right? 2, 4. 2 I will go because this is going to be very good. And then 3 I'm not going. In fact, this is the easiest for me. But when I'm discussing, see, I'm answering this question from your side. Okay, that is the reason why some of you, many of you rather might not have heard about this. That's the only reason why I'm skipping. And also I want to tell you, even if you find some questions like this, you don't want to struggle during exam. We have enough other choices which are left out. But this is, if secularism or some kind of questions, if I'm getting here, or if simply I'm getting qualitative method here, this is the one which I will definitely go for. Okay, so 3 just ignore now, just because I'm assuming that some of you might be not knowing about this. If you know this, this is the one which I want you to attend. The reason is obvious. I got Durkheim and I got Marx. 2 theories, that too 20 marker. 20 marker, when you're getting thinkers, blindly jump onto it because we are so strong in thinkers. Okay, never ever miss that, guys. Even if you need to make some compromise in this question, still you should go for this question actually. So I'm not going for 3. I'll go for 2 and 4. And then 6 I'm not going. 7 I'll go. That's enough. So any one of you want to go for any other selection, and if you have any other opinion, then you can discuss, guys. 1 or 2 minutes I can spend for that. And then I'll go for the answers quickly. The pattern, we will not be answering all the questions because all the answers have been given to you in the PDF format. Each and every question we have discussed and the answers are given. We have discussed it in the AWP module. Recordings are available to you. You need to watch that. So the detailed discussion of each question will not be there, but the approach we will be discussing. Okay, let's start with the first one. How sociology has emerged as a distinct discipline based on rationality and scientific temper, right? So modernization, modernity, how the changes have happened, talk about rationality, talk about intellectual background, industrial revolution, commercial revolution, modernity, different dimensions of modernity, scientific temper, that intellectual contribution, right? So you can talk about philosophy of history, you can talk about survey method, you can talk about Darwin's theory of biological evolution, and this is going to be a good one. Then ethnomethodology and phenomenology perspective as a critique to positivism. So here they are directly asking you, first you need to talk about positivism briefly, then talk about the criticism briefly, right? It's a partial understanding of society. So what, guys, can you quickly tell me what are the features of positivism? External reality, establishment of cause and effect, theory need to be made, cause and effect relationship has to be established, objectivity, testing, right? Macro reality, use of quantitative methods, use of inductive methods. We know that. What is a criticism? You're focusing on only one dimension, you are ignoring the other areas, and that's the criticism. It's a fundamental misunderstanding or a partial understanding. Then you talk about ethnomethodology and phenomenology. In fact, you see this area, 3 questions. Here you got 1 question. See this one, another question, same no for positivism and post-positivism. Again, interpretive perspective, same. So from that positivism, non-positivism itself, you got 40 marks here. You got the importance of it. Right, and 2020 we have solved, 2019, 2018, 2017. In all years, you will see emergence. One way or the other, they're asking. Okay, now third one, significance of variables in sociological research, direct one. Talcott Parsons' conception of pattern variable. So you talk about Parsons' idea about social action briefly, and then you talk about what he's discussing as roles, right? And while performing the roles, you face dilemma. This dilemma can be understood in patterns, and that's what pattern variables. There are some commonly understood pattern: ascription, achievement, affectivity, affective neutrality, right? Universalism, particularism, collective orientation, self-orientation. So we discussed all those, and the combinations also we discussed, and I've given you examples for this combinations like US society we discussed, Nazi Germany we have discussed, Chinese society we have discussed, right? Then poverty with poor living, that is again direct one. So this one, sociology and other social sciences, direct question, very simple. I don't think that you will be facing any problem. Just the things which you know, you will be able to write. Suppose you start with economy, you will be talking about the theory of division of labor. Till then, it was considered as economics. Now, after Durkheim, it becomes sociological, right? And then talk about capitalism by Marx and capitalism by Weber. Then talk about psychology, talk about Mead's theory, mind, self, and society. Talk about Weber's approach, talk about Durkheim theory of suicide. Till the time Durkheim take up this analysis, suicide is considered as something which is related to psychology, but then it becomes sociology, right? Marx theory of alienation, that is also related to psychology. Okay, guys. So you will be getting a lot of content there also. Postulates of positivism and post-positivism. First, you need to talk about positivism and its critique and post-positivism, which include interpretive sociology by Weber, interactionist approach by Mead, phenomenology, ethnomethodology, and the other approaches like structuralism, feminist perspective, and everything we need to postmodern approach, everything need to be incorporated. Interpretive sociology, that is nothing but Weber's approach, study of social action, interpretive understanding of social action, and understand the cause and effect relationship. So this is the direct theory of suicide by Durkheim. What are the methods which is used? He used quantitative techniques, statistical techniques, multivariate analysis. He compared single variables. He compared multiple variables. With the theory, you need to explain all those. Marxian conception of historical materialism as a critique to Hegelian dialectics. So talk about Hegelian dialectics, dialectical idealism. Dialectics are there, contradictions are there, and the contradictions are solved through ideas. And then Marx have changed that ideas to material condition, because for Marx, ideas are created due to change in material condition. That answer is given clearly, guys. I have explained the answer in detail in the AWP module of thinkers. This exact same question is taken, answer is given, answer is explained also. Then this is nothing but separation of fact and value so that you can ensure objectivity. So how can you ensure objectivity in qualitative research? Then here, Weberian critique of Marx's notion of stratification. Marx stratification is only at the level of class, economic criteria. Weber, that 3 dimensions. So talk about Marx theory and talk about Weberian theory, simple. This is gender, ethnicity, and race, stratification, direct question. Reliability, validity, another direct one, right? Now, you can see section B, 5th question will be somewhat general always. But again, what do you understand by informalization of labor? Write your answer with special reference to India. So why informalization is happening, especially post 1991, what is actually happening in all those situations, and how is it affecting the employment opportunities, how unemployment is created, how it leads to poverty, how women is affected, how middle class is affected, all these, how about migration, how about slums, all these dimensions need to be captured along with informalization. Discuss the changing interface between state and civil society in post-independent India. So active civil society, you can see post-independent India. So that you need to talk about with a lot of examples, which I have given in the PDF. Give an assessment of Durkheim's notion of sacred and profane in sociology of religion. Sacred and profane is a direct answer from the theory of religion. There's a question where you need to score 7 to 8 marks. These are questions like organic solidarity, mechanical solidarity, sacred, profane. These are direct, straightforward 10 marker you're getting. So first define what is religion. Religion is a unified system of belief and practices related to sacred things. So I have introduced the word sacred. Then that is to say things set apart and considered forbidden. So I've explained what is sacred. Then I talk about profane. I talk about the rites and rituals, positive rites, negative rites, worshipping, fasting, and all those things, and I can explain. Patriarchal bargain as gendered division of work in contemporary society. So this is what we have done in terms of patriarchy and sexual division of labor, exactly the same. This is what they have asked us an essay last year. Assess the role of mass media as an agent of social change. So this is an expected question from the last chapter. Science and technology, social change, constitution, social change, education, social change, media, social change, right? Now, the change in nature of organization of work in capitalist society getting more of informal in nature. And you talk about Marx, Weber, their understanding and how it has been changed, how capitalism is still surviving despite Marxian prediction. All those things we need to discuss. New social movement, what are the new dimensions? Earlier peasant movement, what were the demands of the peasants? It was confined, it was very less. But now farmers movement, so that is one. Women movement, earlier women movement, it was mainly led by freedom fighters, Raja Ram Mohan Roy, or social religious reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Roy and all. Then freedom fighters, Mahatma Gandhi and all, right? But post-independence, women leaders are coming. Leadership from within is coming. There are RTI movement, there are Panchayati Raj movement, reservation in parliament movement, Seva, Kudumbasri, all these examples you write with respect to women. Similarly, backward caste, every different social movement you take and explain. Me Too campaign and everything. Not only women, it is general question, new social movement. This year they have asked women movement also, new women movement. And in paper 2 also they have asked about this. Examine the dynamics of pressure group in multi-party political system. Civil society asked before, now pressure group. Expected, right? Pressure group, how it acted, how it pressurized the government to do certain policies and come up with programs and all. 7, this is easy one. We have discussed already directly contemporary trends like single parent family, gay parent family, commune, then weekend family, serial monogamy, plastic sexuality, a lot of concepts we have discussed. And then how is it affecting the family structure? Regional variation, you have nothing to do, just cut, copy, paste Airavadi Karve. Beyond that, you have nothing to do. South India, North India, Central India, you need to explain that. Secularism, what is secularism? Explain different types of secularism, Western notion of secularism, the Indian version of secularism, the constitutional secularism as modernity, modernism, and then talk about communalism, fundamentalism, revivalism, sect and cult, everything need to be incorporated, even if it is 10 mark. Theories of social change, you talk about Weber theory of social change, Protestant ethic and spirit of capitalism. You talk about Marx theory of social change, historical materialism, mode of production. Talk about Durkheim theory of social change, organic to mechanical, mechanical to organic solidarity. Parsons theory of social change, cybernetic hierarchy of control, but we just need 2. So when you just need 2 only, it is always better to go with Marx and Durkheim. Science and technology and social change. What are the religious practices? Okay. So that's it, guys. That's about the brief discussion on this. Any doubts? If not, we can stop here. Paper 2, after completing this paper 1 up till 2015, now we have 2 more, 16 and 15, and then I will come back to paper 2. Okay, so we'll stop here. See you guys tomorrow. I'll update in the group when we have the next session. Okay.